Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Janitor here, back with another cast. Today I'm going to be casting a TVP FXOpTiKzErO versus ONEKyhol. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. In this best of 7 is actually what this is going to be. You're going to go ahead and speed it up to faster there, so you guys don't have to sit through all of this match. We will go ahead and play it at the normal speed. But anyway, this is going to be a best of 7 between ONEKyhol and FXOpTiKzErO. Those two teams very well known. Well, one might not be as well known as FXO. FXO, of course, hosting members such as OpTiKzErO, who did well, very well. He gained his fame in a TL Open, and of course, having Sheth on their team never really hurts. One of the best Zergs out there, and a really absolutely fantastic guy. One Gaming is actually relatively new. They are from All for One Gaming. Don't know if you all have heard of them, but definitely go check them out. I think they're still undefeated in Clan Wars, although I'm not quite sure. Kyhol, of course, is one of their main members and a big part of the site that I help cast for, hypercrew.com. If you've never gone over there, check it out. Either way, this is going to be on Metalopolis. Here we see close spawning positions. That's going to make for some really interesting early game opportunities for both of these players. Either way, we are going to see Kyle throw down that supply depot perhaps a little bit early. I'm not really sure. It looks like we might have missed a callback. There we go. Going to set myself to busy. There I am, setting it on air. How do you guys like that? Don't want anyone else to distract me from this game. But either way, we're going to be seeing probably some early aggression. Looks like FXOpTiKzErO is going to go in the correct scouting position right away. Looks like Kyle going to chase around this probe, make him work for his scouting intel. There goes FXOpTiKzErO, just heading into the base, maybe doing a little bit of probe harass, setting another of those SCVs to sick that probe, make sure he doesn't get around very, very freely. And then Kyle is absolutely going to know right where his opponent is. So close spawning positions means, yeah, definitely some early pressure is possible for both of these players. So far, nothing out of the ordinary for either one of them. We haven't seen a gas geyser go down for Kyle, so that is interesting, and certainly not a second barracks, so probably a one-racks fast expand coming out for Kyle, which is relatively odd. As I said, we are on these close spawning positions, so it is going to be a little bit difficult to hold that one-racks fast expand if FXOpTiKzErO chooses to go out and put on some early pressure. In the meantime, we see him finishing off that wall off, and I think that's how he's going to keep most of the Protoss units out of his base, is just by keeping this wall relatively tight. Now he has 2 Marines out. This probe, should he choose to come up here, is going to be completely dead. There's absolutely nothing he can do to get past those 2 Marines, and it looks like Kyle is going to go ahead and fast expand. There goes throwing down that command center right away, and FXOpTiKzErO getting 1 gas right now, no second gas. We do see Chrono Boost saved up. He does have a couple of stalkers out, or excuse me, 1 stalker out, and another one, well, that one was Chrono Boosted out. So we could be seeing some interesting early pressure here from FXOpTiKzErO. Looks like Kyle is going to push forward here, try and do some damage. He is going to scout this probe, and there goes the probe down. Final moments of his life, perhaps. No, the probe just barely getting away. Excellent job there by FXOpTiKzErO to have some good control and just pull him back. In the meantime, Kyle feeling pretty secure behind that wall. He's got a stalker and a zealot on their way. Looks like they could put on some early pressure here, but FXOpTiKzErO might actually be going for a fast expand strategy as well. We see him well above 400 minerals. An interesting choice here, going for that gold expansion. Wow, FXOpTiKzErO going to take this gold and be very, very risky. This is highly unusual. If this gets scouted, it's gonna cause some trouble here. Kyle throwing down that factory now. He did add on those 2 refineries in his base, and now he's looking to add on those that double gas and tech up relatively quickly. And here comes FXOpTiKzErO with some pressure. Those 5 Marines, though, are going to completely chase him off. Kyle pulling off some of those probes that they could just fall back into the bunker, and there it goes back into the bunker. Going to be able to hold this off without too much of a problem. Going to go ahead and raise that supply depot up, and this is how FXOpTiKzErO plans to keep this base up and running. We're going to see him try and contain Kyle in his base for as long as possible. Kyle is a little bit unsteady right now, as he only has 1 barracks out and really nothing else. He's got these 5 Marines. Taking a look at the unit counting station, 6 Marines actually. My bad, one of them over here doing some scouting. He has no... Oh no, I believe I hit the B button. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. This cast is full of mistakes, but I'm gonna press on. I apologize for pressing B, but that is okay. We are gonna press on as I indicated, but This one Marine is going to do some scouting intel here for Kyle. He's going to be moving around. Hasn't scouted that base yet, but Kyle might have a hard time defending this. Here comes 4 Stalkers, 4 OpTiKzErO, getting a little bit too close to that ramp, and those bunkers, that bunkered Marine's just doing a lot of damage. Now OpTiKzErO forced to pull back, but he's doing a nice job containing Kyle, and here comes a huge probe transfer right now. Almost all the probes for OpTiKzErO going to transfer to this gold base, and that's going to give him a big economic boost so long as it goes unscouted. It looks like though Kyle does hold on to this this expansion, and he's going to see this this expansion no problem. I don't know what OpTiKzErO is thinking. Here comes this one Marine, going to try and do some damage here. He's going to get in the mineral line, do some damage. OpTiKzErO now knows that that's happened, and I wonder what's going to be going through the mind of OpTiKzErO. Here he comes, pushing out here. He's going to try and take that out. You see all those probes being chased away by that one Marine who has no kills, so great control there by OpTiKzErO to not let Kyle put on too much pressure. However, Kyle does have siege tank, or at least one siege tank out, and siege tech on the way, throwing down a lot of barracks. Looks like he's just going for Marine siege tank, and he's going to try and put some pressure on here, and he's going to have to do it very quickly, because if he doesn't, he's going to start to fall behind very, very quickly. That gold expo will help OpTiKzErO a lot. You see him already on 4 warp gates, as well as that one robotics facility already pumping out an immortal, and that's going to help him quite a bit to defend against these siege tanks. So OpTiKzErO with a very interesting strategy here. You see this observer out, seeing what one Kyle has, and he's going to be able to react to it very, very well. Only 2 sentries out for our Protoss player right now, and getting a little bit supply capped. You see that one pylon is just on its way. 60 of 60 food. An interesting choice for OpTiKzErO. Going to go ahead and expand again. This is very, very interesting. OpTiKzErO is very risking it quite a bit with those. You're going to see Kyle throw down that SCV, just dying away there, trying to get some more scouting intel. So interesting choice by OpTiKzErO to go ahead and expand here. You see him throwing down that Twilight Council, might be trying to get some early upgrades for his Zealots. Probably going to get charged very, very early, as he already has those robotics bay out. And Kyle knows that expansion is there. I'm very surprised that he hasn't pushed out yet and tried to put some pressure on it. He does not know that this expansion is up, so maybe he's thinking he needs to chill back, as he's a little bit behind right now, but he really isn't at all. Taking a look at the army values, he's actually ahead at least somewhat significantly in army values. So he has no clue that this Nexus is down, and OpTiKzErO is just going to continue to get more ahead as he takes these expansions. Looks like Kyle is choosing to move out here. It looks like he might be putting some pressure on, and caught it a little bit out of position for these siege techs, doing those sentries throwing out some nice force fields. I would have liked to see Kyle go ahead and siege up, but it doesn't look like he's going to, and OpTiKzErO is going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. All those force fields forcing all of those Marines to die to all those probes. And now OpTiKzErO pushing forward here. I think he could actually do a little bit more damage. Those siege tanks just now sieging up, and I'm very surprised by the choice there from Kyle to leave his siege tanks unsieged. That is very interesting. He did, wow, OpTiKzErO is actually still ahead in the probe count, so feeling fantastic right now. He's just been chrono boosting out those probes, trying to get to the late game, which we know those Protoss pieces are so good at. So Kyle a little bit behind right now. He's actually quite a bit behind. 83 food to 72, losing quite a bit on that expansion. No stem down for those Marines yet, and no combat shield. So those Marines are a little bit weak right now. He's going to rely a lot on the siege tanks, and here comes Kyle pulling those probes off. OpTiKzErO is going to know what's coming, and he is going to be a little bit frightened right now. Taking a look at the army values, one Kyle is still ahead, using those SCVs to the best of his abilities, and still not sieging up those tanks. Just doing a nice job trying to micro away from those Zealots, and now putting on the pressure here. Kyle moving forward, and now destroying the army value of OpTiKzErO. He's trying to warp in some more of those Zealots, and the siege tanks still not sieged up, trying to focus down that immortal. Those Marines are just melting away at the immortals. More Marines now enforcing this army, and OpTiKzErO looks like he could be in some trouble here. All those Marines focusing down. There goes the immortal, and 3 stalkers left right now for Kyle. He might be able to move up and put on some pressure here. Looks like a couple of those Marines getting Getting up here again, and Kyle pushing out with all of those SCVs, quite behind, 25 to 52 SCVs, and now he's just putting on some pressure here. Looks like he's going to be able to take out this gold, but now OpTiKzErO actually has another expansion up, and Kyle still has not scanned it, has no idea that that expansion is up, and he's really scared here. Looks like OpTiKzErO trying to do a little bit more of a counterattack here, moving in with those charged zealots and trying to do some damage, and now Kyle pulling all of his units back. Those charged zealots might actually get that tank down. No, it looks like plenty of reinforcements there for Kyle, and now he feels pretty good knowing that he's taken down that gold base, but he's still a little bit behind. Taking a look at the unit counting station, 24 SCVs to 42 probes, so OpTiKzErO still in a fantastic position, and really Kyle has no clue that this expansion is down, so I'm not sure what he'll be doing. He might actually be pushing out here. Looks like he might want to put on some early pressure here. Either way, OpTiKzErO continue with the army production, and now Kyle actually a little bit ahead in that army value now. Moving forward, really behind on that SCV count. You see neither of these command centers are producing those SCVs right now, and that's going to make it hard. So Kyle probably just going to put on some early pressure here, or pressure again, looking at all those SCVs. Now it looks like Kyle has scanned, does see that that base is down, and now he wants to go put on some pressure here. You see him moving out with all those SCVs, letting them take the front line, and take a look at the army values. He is ahead in army value. You might need to siege up these tanks though. Here comes some Dark Templar out for OpTiKzErO. That's going to play a big role in here. Kyle really needs to drop down a scan to be able to see those Dark Templar focusing down those Immortals, and here he comes. Now he knows that those Dark Templar are out. He might have enough for a scan very, very soon. There comes the scan down right now. Kyle pushing up, doing some more damage, and OpTiKzErO really needs some more of those Dark Templar to put on some pressure, and Kyle just continuing to push forward, taking out all of those units. Another scan go down, and oh no, OpTiKzErO just now pushing in some more of those units, and those Dark Templars falling very, very quickly. So there's the GG from OpTiKzErO. So good job there by Kyle, pulling off those SCVs, putting on a lot of pressure to those expansions, and making OpTiKzErO pay. So once again, guys, my name is SC2 Janitor, or just Janitor. If you like what you see, please go ahead and subscribe. Either way, keep watching and stay tuned for Game 2, guys.